Yeah, how you doing, guys? Welcome to Atmos. Subscribe if you love anything cinema, discussion, movies, home theater, and all things audio and video. We are going to discuss a bit about box office and movies that are doing well at the box office right now, and what I feel about some of these releases and the ones that are not doing so well, and what I feel studios should do better with marketing their movies with their more recent content, because I've noticed there is a big problem in the industry where we are having a certain studio dominating other studios, making other studios look so bad on paper, whereas it shouldn't be the way it is currently. Now, number one at the box office in America was Hobbs Shaw. It's made 25.4 million US dollars from 4,344 theaters, and it dropped 57.7%. And this information, I'm getting this from a very reliable platform that I visit and I love. The name of the platform is boxofficereporter.com. So if you are interested, go head on to their website and check out this list. They are the best on the industry that I love to follow personally. Now, the movie made worldwide, it made an extra 60 million overseas, so technically it made around 85 million overseas this weekend, getting it to 333 million US dollars worldwide. So technically it has already made 300 plus million in 2 weeks. In the next 12 days it's going to come out in China, and we are looking at something big in China, because if it can do for instance 500 million without China, between America and overseas, you'll be looking at between 250 to 300 million in China. Now, if it goes the extra mile and do over 400 million in China, which is not out of the question, considering China does not have any major release going into September, because China really does not have anything major going into September, October. So if Hobbs and Shaw can hold their numbers for 1 month, it probably could do 400 million. I'm not sure, but at least 250 million is locked in China, but it could go as high as 400 million or even 500 million. You never know what the Chinese market might vibe to. Now, the next on the American table is Scary Stories to Tell the Dark. To Tell in the Dark is it's a movie that was produced by Del Toro. The guy is really good. He's a veteran in the industry, has made so many big movies. He actually made me started to like comic books in the early 2000s when he did his Hellboy franchise, and he's really good, and I'm kind of glad that this movie is doing well. The problem I have with this movie is the budget. $28 million for a horror movie. I really feel that is too much in 2019, considering most of these movies barely break even in the bank. But it's doing decent. But overseas, it didn't really debut so much as to the liking that I would want it. It did about 5 million this weekend overseas. Not so great, but it was okay at best. It still has many other countries to go before it actually goes out of theater. Next on the list is Lion King. Lion King dropped 48% this weekend. It still pulled 20 million in the United States and about over 55 million elsewhere. It is pulling a lot of money, and it will probably get to 1.550 billion minimum. It could still go as high as 1.7 billion, because this movie has already done 862 million overseas. If it keeps going like this, it could earn around 1.1 billion without America. And if you throw in America, that you probably get to 550 to 580 in America, you'll be looking at 1.650 billion to 1.7 billion final total. The next on the list is Dora. Dora didn't do so well, but it was good for what's worth. I just hope that it can have a better multiplier in the American markets. It did around $17 million. Not so great, but I think it can pull more because the movie had a very good rating, around 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it had a very good rating, and I feel it can still pull a little bit more before it's out of the box office entirely. Movies like The Kitchen flopped bad, and I pity Warner Brothers. See guys, I really pity Warner Brothers. Is like my best studio. It gets me really upset when I see a brand like Warner Brothers fail. They have failed a bit this year because all their releases this year, from Lego to Shazam to Godzilla to what's this, their recent movie, and even Annabelle, really didn't make that much as compared to their previous franchise. Movies like Denon and all that. Warner Brothers has had a very bad year. I've been really disappointed with virtually everything they launched this year, and The Kitchen flopped. The Kitchen made only how much did it made? It made just man, it's really disappointing what The Kitchen did. It did around $5.5 million, and it didn't even do anything overseas. It was really bad for Warner Brothers. And the fact that Melissa McCarthy is going to play Elsa in this Little Mermaid that is coming out next year, I'm beginning to doubt her star power, because a lot of people don't like this lady. I don't know why. She's quite funny, but a lot of people don't really like her movies these days. It's not really pulling money as it should, and I'm not really happy that it's not pulling money as it should. The next on the list is Spider-Man, which I've been very impressed with. Spider-Man did another $5.3 million. It only fell 40%. Fell 32.9%. It pulled $370 million this weekend. Worldwide, it has done $1,096 million. So technically, in the next 1 or 2 weeks, it should become Sony's highest-grossing movie ever. It will beat out Skyfall. Skyfall made $1,108 million. So give or take a week or so from now, it should become Sony's highest-grossing movie ever. Now, Toy Story 4 is making $1 billion by Saturday next week. It currently has made $420 million, 419 to be precise, but let's just say $420 million in the United States and 990 million worldwide. If it grosses $1 billion, it will make it the first time a studio, I think it's even the first time a studio will actually have 5 movies that have made $1 billion, and that is Disney. Now that brings me back to what I wanted to say initially before starting this video, is that these other studios are having a very big issue that will affect them next year, because so many of the industry experts don't even talk about what is happening right now. If Disney ends this year with almost 8 movies with $1 billion, what it's going to do is that it's going to trickle to next year. Black Widow will do $1 billion. I am calling it right now. Black Widow will do $1 billion. And if a Black Widow can do $1 billion by May next year, there is nothing stopping Eternals from $1 billion. What it's going to do is that it's a prelude to more movies doing $1 billion, because in the people's mind, especially in the overseas market, I stay overseas, we want to see the popular guys make more money. Like, not that we want to support them, but once that Disney logo is on the screen, we would want to go see these movies. And the more we see these movies and the more the movies make money in these other countries, it hurts other studios. No other person would want to go see these movies. And the fact that home cinema is becoming a trend everywhere, I'll do a separate video for home cinema, killing the commercial cinema as a business. I'm going to make a separate video because it's technically a problem at the moment. But what I'm trying to get to is that if Disney keeps making money the way they are making and other studios don't want to step up, it will affect the industry in general. It will put out so many studios out of business, and it will put a lot of pressure on so many big studios as well. Warner Brothers was the closest thing to Disney 2 years before now, and it is a problem as it is right now, because a lot of people are just watching Disney movies everywhere, and nobody's really giving a damn about movies from other studios, except movies that are affiliated to Disney brand. Take it for instance, Sonic, which was produced by Marvel Studios under Disney label. You can see that movie has made Sony the highest, currently is going to become the highest grossing film in Sony's catalog, and that is where I'm getting at. If this continues, if this trend continues, it will kill off so many studios, and nobody will ever make any adult movie in the industry ever again. So guys, this is basically the box office summary for today. I could go on. Other movies like Aladdin still pulled in good money. Aladdin is still pulling in good money. Aladdin lost 2,000 theaters this week, so it dropped hard. It dropped a lot harder than I expected it, but it dropped hard. It did 819 million, which is around 60 plus drop. It's currently at $503 million. It could crawl to 555 or 558 final. Avengers has made $2.795 billion. It may not be able to get to $2.8 billion as I predicted, but it should be close. I don't think Marvel have finally updated the entire overseas numbers, because there are some markets that have not gotten this re-release that they did in America a few months back. So markets like Korea was supposed to get it this month, Chile as well. So I can't really say that Marvel have finally updated their entire overseas number, but I should see this movie getting close to 2.8 billion by September, when it's all said and done. But regardless, the movie is a blockbuster success, and I'll keep you guys updated on the final numbers. Movies like Aladdin is still pulling it big in the box office. It's at $1.035 billion worldwide. So guys, this is basically it. I don't think I've forgotten any movie. Okay, The Secret Lives of Pets 2 made more money overseas this weekend. I think it's being released more in other countries right now, so it's good for it. It's going to pull between 450 final to 500 million if I'm going to predict. Now, if this movie gets to 500 million, I'll probably suggest the studio should do a sequel for it, because I never expected it to do over 350, but now it's at 377 million, so it's close to 400 million. If it can get to 800 million, if it can get to 500 million, I think a sequel should still come up, because it's very well in the profit margin as it is right now. So guys, this is all box office news and updates for this week. Be sure to join us next week. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when the next content has been released. Once again, my name is Immaculate, and I'll catch you guys next time.